Hey everyone, and you're very welcome back to our Justice for Aaron Brady campaign. Now, as most of you are aware, there's an ongoing court case in the CCJ in Dublin in relation to the murder and robbery at Lordship Credit Union. And on February the 22nd last, we broadcast from outside the court, and we told you, the public, that Detective Joe Ryan, the man who was sitting beside Adrian Donoghue the night Garda Donoghue lost his life, confirmed in court that the man who shot and murdered his colleague and his friend could not have been Aaron Brady. He confirmed the man with the shotgun was over 6 foot 1 inches tall. Aaron Brady is 5'7". So again, that was proof positive that our campaign and all the videos and podcasts and whatever we've released on social media has been correct. And this was borne very true yesterday in a vital part of our campaign. And that part is, there is no gang that can be connected to Aaron Brady. And during the course of proceedings yesterday in the Central Criminal Court in Dublin, Mr. Stain for the prosecution outlined a number of telephone numbers and attributed these telephone numbers to a group of people. I think somewhere in the region of 15 or 16. And I'm just going to bring them up here just alongside me. They're just initials. So Aaron Brady had 3 phones, one of them's inactive. We will be covering that as we move forward, but as proceedings are ongoing, we don't want to take any chances, as been seen, to be intruding in what's actually happening in the court. So the 2 young men that are on trial at the minute, JF and BF, their phone are attributed, obviously. TB, that's myself. LC is a young friend of Aaron and the other men. Never a suspect, nowhere near the Lordship Credit Union. EM, another young man, probably involved in fuel laundering, was in a chip shop in Castleblaney. EF, very interesting here again, a brother of one of the young men who are on trial at the moment. And he has been named on numerous occasions in relation to the murder and robbery at Lordship Credit Union. Now, when I say on numerous occasions, I go back almost to October, November, December, and into January of 2019-2020. But because we found CCTV footage that this young man was in a local shop, went home, didn't leave his home until after 10 p.m. So he cannot be part of the gang that were involved in the murder and robbery at Lordship Credit Union. And we've covered that quite clearly. And I'm going to put the links to the videos again below this video in relation to the fictional gang that was created by the state and on Garda Síochána. And that young man that we've mentioned there, EF, Brendan Grehan bandied his name about willy-nilly at the start of the court trial, at the start of Aaron's trial back in 2019. And when he became aware and the state became aware that we had the proof positive and testimony from that young man's girlfriend, where he was at the time Adrian Donoghue lost his life, he disappeared from the scene again. Much the same as the blonde woman and the raider with the Dublin accent. That didn't suit the narrative. We move on then. JH, another young man who was, I believe, in the mid-Monaghan area at the time of the murder and robbery. I think his phone showed that. And again, maybe some way involved in diesel laundering. MF, a mother of one of the suspects. I don't think she had anything to do with the murder and robbery. And then we have 3 young girls, JF, C. McC and JK, 3 young girls at the time that were girlfriends or whatever of the boys, and obviously had nothing to do with the murder and robbery at Lordship Credit Union. Absolutely nothing. I think all the girls were at home with family and friends at the time Detective Guard Adrian Donoghue lost his life. P. McC, another friend of Aaron's and the other boys, I do believe he was out of the country at the time of the murder and robbery. I'm not sure, but he was never a suspect or he was never involved in any way. And then we have COC, another girl of one of the suspects, the girlfriends of one of the suspects. And Brendan Grehan, actually on the floor of the court, during the course of Aaron's trial, named this girl as a possible getaway driver to fill in the female driver of the getaway car. But that failed miserably for Mr. Grehan when again we found CCTV footage of this young girl driving through Dundalk at the time the raiders was dropped off behind the credit union. She was actually getting hair extensions done in a hairdresser in Dundalk. So what is the significance of this group of names we see here? We don't have 5 raiders. We don't have a blonde woman. We don't have the Dublin accent. It is a charade. It is a farce. And then we had the situation the day before where, we're speaking of farces, we have this clip up here. Tattoo is pictorial admission of involvement in Lordship Credit Union robbery, the court is told. So Brendan Grehan has brought the attention to the court that one of these young men has a tattoo, and it is a pictorial admission, according to Brendan Grehan. And the way Mr. Grehan described the tattoo on court will be looked at again later, and how the narrative again has been pushed to this is beyond extreme, Mr. Grehan, where you're going with this, and how pathetic yourself, the prosecution and An Garda Síochána are to stray away from the facts and go into complete absurdity. There's the facts there. There is no gang that can be connected to Aaron Brady. It is as simple as that. And then we have a ludicrous situation where Brendan Grehan again has named the man in court as head of logistics. Okay, so this man's head of logistics, and I believe on Wednesday last week, which would be somewhere in the region of the 10th, is it? What date are we today, Caroline? The 9th, sorry. In around the 2nd or 3rd of March, Mark Phillips, Senior Investigating Officer Mark Phillips, named this man, he was sitting in court, named him as being close by the proximity of the credit union at the time of more than robbery, albeit he lived in that area. But lo and behold, Mr. Stain, all the names that he attributed phones to yesterday, would you believe that the head of logistics has no phone? Is it telepathic communication this gang was working with? And again, it's something we've covered in some detail in the videos below, that there is no gang that connected to Aaron Brady. It is fictional. And I explained before, this head of logistics that has no phone, and the reason there is no contact with the people that there are phones attributed to, that unfortunately at that time there was a family dispute ongoing in the courts in Dundalk, which is there to be seen, and there was no communication between these people. Now that is fact, that is detail. It's not tattooed on someone. I don't have a tattoo on my back saying the head of logistics didn't have a phone. This is fact, this is detail. This happened in the last 48 hours in a courtroom in Dublin. And we're dealing with the murder of a detective in Dundalk. And this is what these people are stooping to. And then we go to the reasons for attributing phones and phone data and cell site analysis. And without preempting what's going to happen in the court, obviously there is going to be a lot of detail in relation to a lot of other events where phones are pinging off mass close to events that are taking place. And lo and behold, Mr. Stain cannot show us none of these people. None of them are anywhere near the robbery of the car in Clogherhead. None of them are anywhere near Lordship Credit Union when Detective Garda Adrian Donoghue lost his life. And they're coming again with bullshit of a tattoo. And they haven't even got a gang. Mr. Stain 10 days ago stated it quite clearly in the court There's 3 people that have been brought forward for trial in this case. 10 years, 1 month, 2 weeks ago, Detective Donoghue lost his life. The most extensive investigation over the last 24 hours in the court. I watched reams and reams and reams and reams and reams and reams of telephone numbers. Pat Marry, Sergeant John Maroney, and whoever was in the incident room in Dundalk on the 27th of January 2013, and for the forthcoming weeks after that, went down the wrong rabbit hole, made a complete mess of the investigation, and the Gardaí and the Irish state were left with a fallen comrade, and they had to do something, and they were prepared to do whatever it took to get a conviction, whether it be true or false. Joe Ryan told us on the 22nd of February, Aaron Brady did not shoot his colleague and his friend. Mr. Stain told us at great length, there is no gang. Told us categorically, there is no gang. Brendan Grehan told us about a tattoo. There has to be some respect shown here now to a fallen Garda. There has to be some sort of justice for all the families involved here. So once again, thank you for following Aaron's campaign. Please continue to like, comment and share. And as things progress and unravel in the court, which will become hopefully very interesting in the next few weeks, we will continue to report, and we will be able to show that what has been brought forward in the courts at this moment in time, 10 years later, after the Northern robbery, is exactly what we, the Brady family, have said during the course of the campaign over the last 3 years. This is the worst miscarriage of justice in the history of the Irish state. So please continue to support our campaign. Thank you to everyone who has contacted us, and the messages of support are greatly appreciated. And as I say again, please continue to like, comment and share, and we'll speak soon. Thank you.